In the wake of the Tyrannosaur Series by Beasts of the Mesozoic Wave 3, we have a ceratopsian reissue, reintroducing Styracosaurus albertensis. Hello, welcome to Rockosaurus Rex, the channel where we review and discuss all things dinosaur and other prehistoric animals. I hope you guys are doing well. I am doing fine. Let's get right into it. You see what we're working with, Beasts of the Mesozoic. This is a reissue and a redo, for that matter, from the ceratopsian series. This is Styracosaurus albertensis, the originally colored Styracosaurus, primarily green, as you can see. And what's new, it isn't just a reissue. The head sculpt has been done, and of course we'll check all of that out. You could tell it's a reissue also because gone are the sleeves for the packaging. We have just the artwork, which you see there, over there. I shouldn't just say just. It's some nice artwork. It's not like it's, we're being given the short end of the stick. We got some beautiful artwork that we've got in place of what was once on the sleeve. You've got the ceratopsian series that are at the bottom, and Styracosaurus albertensis is there along the left side as we look at it. The top of the packaging, Beast of the Mesozoic dinosaur action figure. We've got that on the side, also showing what the species that we'll be checking out will be. And then on the rear, we have some toy photography of the figure itself. Below, we have different examples of what was the fans' choice figures. Medusaceratops, very lovely figure. Pachyrhinosaurus, really nice. I like this probably just as much as I like the original. And then, of course, Torosaurus. This is the figure that I don't have, and I keep going back and forth on whether or not I should get it. I think I should. I'm kind of feeling that more than the blue that is the standard release. And then, of course, we've got the old buck, Styracosaurus. We'll see that guy a little bit later. We do have a readout, and it is as follows: famously known for its 6 frill spikes and long nose horn, Styracosaurus is one of the most recognizable of all the ceratopsians. Despite its iconic look, similarities to Centrosaurus have caused debate in the past over which specimens belonged to each species. And then you have your stats. Styracosaurus got to about 18 feet. It weighed about 3 tons. Its location, Dinosaur Park Formation in Alberta, Canada, 75 million years ago. Late Cretaceous, named by Lawrence Lamb, 1913. It's a 12-inch figure with 20 points of articulation. Some assembly required. They're talking about that tail. Here's the backdrop that comes with the Styracosaurus. It's very interesting. It looks to be somewhere, let's just say cold. We've got the snow-capped mountain range over there, and it looked like there's a ridge right there at the bottom. We also get with Styracosaurus, and as well as with other Beasts of the Mesozoic figures, the card, the info card that's got more of that artwork. And then as I'm looking at it and looking at the backdrop, it's actually the only thing missing from the backdrop is the Styracosaurus. So yeah, you see where that's coming from. And we have on the back, it's got that information, and then folded up nice and small is the instructions on how to apply the tail. And now, the star of the show, our Styracosaurus from Beasts of the Mesozoic. And this marks me completing all of the original ceratopsian series, with the exception of the fans' choice Torosaurus. Still on the fence about that. The only reason I'm on the fence about it is because costs almost $1.50. That is $144 to be precise. So I'll probably get it one day because I am feeling those colors. But for now, I'm happy that I have a representative of every species that BOTM has put out, and our Styracosaurus here has brought up the rear indeed. This is the original coloration. Common green lizard is what the colors are based off of, and that frill, that skull is something else. We're going to check that out for sure when we get it closer. This is a very nice coloration on there. I'll give it the natural thumbs up that it could very well have looked something like this. It's not that crazy, for in the wild. And yeah, other than that, yeah, I'm loving it. Anyway, we're going to get a closer look at it and see exactly how good how good the Styracosaurus is. All right, we've got our Styracosaurus a little bit closer up so we can get a look at the fine details of both the sculpt and the paint job. So first we'll get that head-on look. So you can see that intimidating horn. That's, I mean, look at the size of that. That's just, you don't want to be on the business end of that. I don't care what type of Tyrannosaur you are, for sure. And I have to correct myself because I think this is just a straight up reissue. If there are anything different, it isn't in the frill, and you will understand what I mean when I compare this figure with Old Buck. Old Buck's frill spikes are definitely different in terms of their positioning, but we'll get to that momentarily. I'll be showing that comparison. I'm not going to go through the articulation because I went through the articulation with the Old Buck figures. I'll have an end cap link at the end of the video if you want to see that. So what we will get into are the comparisons between this and Old Buck. As far as this the coloration, I'm loving the you got that bone color for the spikes, both the frill and the horn. The horn, all the spikes start off with a grayish, white grayish bone color, and it ends with a dark color. Looking at the side there, the eye is basically a white with a black pupil. The beak, it's got that. It's not a bone color. It's a little bit more beige with a wash over it, a dry wash, to bring out some of that detail. Then, of course, the head itself is like a brick reddish color with a dry wash over to show the scales. You've got some blue-green down there at the jaw area. You've got a myriad of blacks, and I'll call it mango type of coloration there. You've got some nice bone colors over the eyes, showing nice ridges. If you could see that there, it's looking pretty good. And then, of course, the pattern in the frill is very, very nice. It is, no, I'm glad it isn't. It is kind of symmetrical. So, it's, yeah, they both look almost identical, both the patterns on both sides. It is what it is. And then, of course, you've got cheek spikes there, too. See if you can see those. You got cheek spikes. They're also painted that bone grayish color. Very nice. The mouth is articulated. You can see the connecting tissue there. It's got like an orange type of motif. In terms of the coloration, looking in the mouth, if that's possible. See how well I can do that. You can see the lower jaw there. You got the tongue there kind of looking nice and wet. In terms of the upper, that's going to be a little bit more problematic to try to show you. See if I can get a little bit more light on the situation. See if that helps. It's not really helping that much. How about there? That's about as well as I can get it. You could see the tongue hanging out there, looking pretty good. The rear of the frill has just got that brick reddish color. And then looking at the neck, you've got that with the black or dark brown striping underneath. The throat, you see what we got going on there, and it's got a wash so you can see the scalation. Then we get into that green base, and then looking at it from on high, see if I can lower that jaw a little bit, that neck. You can see the brown poured over. Looks like it's been poured over. The same thing with the whites. It looks like strands of this kind of like off-white with some yellow in there has just been poured over the back and just let it drip on the ends there. And that is asymmetrical. I can tell you that they don't look the same on either side. So that's pretty cool. So I'll turn it to that side. Yes, that's very nice. The forelimbs, green with a dark wash over it, dry brush, I should say. And then you get to the feet, and they have that brick red coloration like the skull and the neck have, and the claws. You see how they're painted. The rear, the hind limbs, green, and then you have a dark wash. You've got some scales going over here, some osteoderms formed on the hind limbs, and then when you get to the lower portion below the knee, it gets lighter green. And then looking at the front of the feet there, you see that coloration, and the toes. Once again, they're painted. Difficult to see. I'm just going to call that a tan color paint. Then going down, that brown coloration gets very narrow. When you get to that point, I have an imperfection. Is that what that is? Yep, I got a little paint chip on mine. It is what it is. Then the striping, there's some yellow there, and it turns into off-white. And then it gets like a caramel brown, the last four stripes before we get to the tail, the beginning of the tail. The tail, green, top of it, a kind of like an orange brown. And then when you get to the tip of the tail, it's like a blood orange with some striping. And then, of course, you've got that on the other side there. And there is our Styracosaurus. Here's that comparison between the primary or original Styracosaurus, reissued of course, and the Fan's Choice Old Buck. This is we'll call it the clean version of Old Buck, because they put out two. You've got the quote-unquote clean version, and then you have the bloody Old Buck too. And I'll be bringing that version out as well at some point. But I wanted you guys to see especially the frills. And I'm going to point them forward so that there is no distractions with the frills being up against their respective bodies. So there you have it, and you can see what I'm talking about there. So yes, here are original Styracosaurus. You see how the frill spikes are positioned. Then when you go to Old Buck, you see how their position's definitely a different design in how those frills, how those spikes are positioned is most definite. And then, of course, the obvious is Old Buck's nose spike is busted. It's broken off at the top there. That's by design. This is like a battle-worn old guy. He's been through it. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I'll leave that link, like I said before, of Old Buck. And if you want to see that review because I reviewed both versions of Old Buck in that one, and you can see the articulation as well. And here's that shot with bloody Old Buck. You could see where it gets its name from. And since the info that was read on the rear of the packaging mentioned something about the similarities between Styracosaurus and Centrosaurus, I figured I'd break him back out. And I mean, they've got the long nasal horn, that's for sure, but Centrosaurus was much larger than Styracosaurus. And now we have our very own Robert Muldoon, who is totally unequipped to be in this particular climate. But having said that, he has sacrificed his comfortability and warmth to show us what a Styracosaurus would look like in terms of size next to a human being. We thank you, Rob. And so, putting a cap on this one, the Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian Series, Styracosaurus albertensis reissue. For me, finally, long awaited, happy to have it, glad that I got it because I was in love with it when I first saw it because I love the colors and everything else. I'm very happy to have it. And speaking of those colors, that skull, as always with the ceratopsians, the skull is most definitely the highlight for sure. It was no different in this case. I'm loving it. The rest of the figure with the green as the base and all of the different colors that we get really makes this species stand out. This is a very nice figure, and I am very happy to have acquired it. What do you guys think? It was out before, so some of you may have this particular version of Styracosaurus already. What do you prefer, this or the Old Buck versions? Either versions of those. Let me know that in the comment section below. If you do like this particular figure or any of the figures from Beasts of the Mesozoic, you can get yours at Creative Beast Studio at their site, and I'll have the link to that in the description below, as well as the name for you to get at on Instagram for Creative Beast Studios. Beasts of the Mesozoic will definitely they'll do you right for sure. So you can get at them either or. If you want, whether it's anything from the Ceratopsian series, the Tyrannosaur series, all 3 waves are now out, so sky's the limit with those. And there's some raptors left, so you can get those too. Once again, I'll have the link to their website in my description below. Speaking of below, I need you guys to give a thumbs up. Subscribe if you please. I know it would please me if you did so. Definitely leave those comments, as I had stated before, on this figure, on Ceratopsian series, on Beasts of the Mesozoic as a whole on this channel. Do what you will. If you want to be notified when I upload another video, there is a bell that you could hit and you will be so notified. And that's going to do it for this. We're going to return to the Tyrannosaur Series Wave 3, starting with the next review. So, hope to see you guys then. Take care. Peace.